Did you ever feel trapped or controlled by a toxic person by using money as leverage? Maybe using money as the tool that kept you stuck in the box that they wanted to keep you in. Maybe you're wondering how narcissists exploit financial power, use this to manipulate and abuse other people, use this to manipulate and abuse you countless times in the relationship. Maybe you've been to the place where you've lost the majority of your money to a narcissist because of what he did to you. Maybe you've seen the reduce in profits in your business because of the toxic relationship. Maybe you've seen how it's affected your life over and over. Maybe you were in that relationship and going back and forth, and he used financial abuse to keep you sedated, to keep you isolated from everyone else. I want to talk to you today about how narcissists leverage money to abuse you, how they manipulate you to be dependent on them, how they manipulate you to control you. When we talk about this piece of financial abuse, I want to bring in a couple different points of what's going on, how it's breaking down in pieces like that. So the first one is just they do it for dependency. So you're dependent on them, which is ultimately control. A lot of narcissism comes back to control, controlling of the ideas, controlling of the thoughts, controlling of the mass that they're actually putting up there. Narcissists will use money as a means to create dependency and control over you. By providing financial support or controlling the finances in the relationship, they make sure that you become reliant on them for basic needs. So it's not something that's like, oh, here you go at any single time. It's like you need to learn how to be dependent. So think of it this way. You might have grown up or you might have been in a household where the parents always kept all of the finances and didn't share one with another. Maybe going into the relationship, you start realizing that, hey, the partner that you're with, like he insists on having all the household finances and doesn't give you any viewpoint of them. Maybe just gives you a allowance or gives you a certain amount that you can spend and that's it. Oftentimes we'll see a narcissist that works and has a great job, but he's like, I'll pay for like the house and you have to pay for everything else. And all of a sudden this dynamic comes in of like, wait a second, like I thought we were working on this together. And he's like, yeah, it is together. I'm doing half. And you're like, no, I'm doing way more. Or whatever it might be. But you'll see a lot of times a narcissist that will insist on managing finances or having all control over them and not giving you a clue. There's many people that have been in relationships and they're like, I had no clue about the finances until we finally broke up and I realized there was all this debt. I had no clue about the finances because he was siphoning all the money away and I had no clue where it was going. Like this control piece makes you dependent on the narcissist, makes you dependent on a toxic person. And what it does, the whole goal is it makes it harder for you to leave. Like if you're dependent on him, financially, emotionally, like all these different pieces, if you're dependent on him, then you can't leave. That's the lie. That's also the thought. I was talking to a client one time when she actually had already gotten out of the relationship based on that she had to take her kids and she had to go to a homeless shelter. Because she was like, regardless of the money piece, he's not going to control me like this. And she woke up to the reality that he was controlling and abusing her by using finances. Now, a lot of times money can be the carrot at the end of the stick. And narcissists will do it to dangle it in front of you to keep you going forward. And so money will get used oftentimes as a reward or as a punishment. Narcissists are going to use money as a tool to be able to get you to do what they want you to do. I will give you this or I will not give you this. Nope, I'm not going to pay child support this month because you didn't talk to me like I wanted you to talk to me. No, I'm not going to invest money in your new venture because you haven't actually been there for me and given me the sex that I want. No, I'm not going to give you money because you haven't made me a priority and you embarrassed me last month when you called me out. Like there's so many different pieces. Now, they might do it as a reward of like, oh, let me give you gifts. Let me give you luxuries. Let me give you the nice things. Let me give you all the money that you want when I get what I want from you. People are like, how does the new supply last so long in the relationship? Don't they see it and be like, the person that is with the narcissist will last as long as they're willing to accept the same shit over and over and over again. That's it. Oftentimes, a narcissist will use the finances to withhold, to reward, to get to a place of giving you punishment or reward for what you're doing for them. Making sure that they are keeping you dependent on them. Now, you might have this where he gave you expensive gifts. where you did something and he gave you something really nice. And oftentimes, you even see this oftentimes coming even after an argument. Then you do something nice, boom, something really good. And it starts to minimize the argument, starts to minimize the bad stuff. And it starts to make you think, oh, do this, get paid. Do this, get paid. Does it always sound like that in your mind? No. But I'm trying to make it sound as simple as possible to break this down. Or you do something and you realize, oh, he didn't like that. And so you don't get paid. You don't get that peace that you wanted before. This is the same exact thing in the silent treatment. Like a silent treatment is the same aspect as financial abuse. You either get paid with someone talking to you or you get paid with them ignoring you. So you either get rewarded of this person actually communicating and it feels like there might be a relationship going on, or you get punished by this person no longer talking to you and you're left scratching your head being like, what did I do? Either way, it's the same principle. It's the same idea. Then you move into the world of not just gaslighting, but financial gaslighting. This is a tactic where the narcissist is manipulating your perception of reality regarding money, regarding what it actually looks like. Maybe lying about financial decisions that they made without your consent. What they've done with your 401k, what they've done with different finances in the house, what they've done with the savings. They spent all the savings, they did it and they gambled it all away. Maybe this is gaslighting you about their income. I don't make that much, so he doesn't have to pay as much child support. I don't make that much, so that he doesn't have to give you more money, when in reality he's just siphoning it off. Or starting these debts piece of having more and more debt to control and to isolate and to lock you into a relationship. If you're in a toxic relationship, please stop co-signing stuff. Please stop. Co-signing cars, co-signing credit cards, co-signing debt, co-signing, just stop. Easier said than done, but I need you to know, if you're in a toxic relationship and they're approaching you about, I need your help to be able to sign this apartment. I need your help to get this lease. I need your help to get this house. I need your help because my credit's bad. All this kind of stuff. Please do not do it. Because I talk to so many people that are getting out of a relationship, they're getting their freedom mentally and emotionally, they know what's going on, they've gone no contact, and they're still stuck because they signed something with a toxic person. Please don't do it. You're going to see a lot of times a narcissist gaslight you saying that they're struggling. Claiming in that he needs your help, that he needs finances, that he needs something, when reality is financially secure and he's just been gaslighting you, or reality is using you to get what he wants. This gaslighting makes you doubt your own judgment. It makes you doubt if you can actually make informed decisions because you haven't been informed at all. Now, the last thing I want to touch on is using debt as a tool of control and manipulation. Because narcissists will get into debt, whether that's gambling, whether that's spending money, however it might be. Sometimes they do it intentionally. Now, if you're separated, sometimes they do it intentionally, be like, see, don't have any money. Can't pay you anything. Can't give you anything out of the divorce. Okay, if you're separated, they're like, don't have enough money to even pay child support. So why would I do this? Just quit my job because I can't pay child support. Like so many different things. But they might intentionally create debt to navigate this whole relationship to keep you stuck. Using it as a way of, let me leverage this to maintain control over you. By burdening you with financial obligations, you restrict you from freedom. If the narcissist is if I can keep her under debt, then she can't be free. If I can keep her under debt, then she won't actually move on. If I can keep her under debt, then she has to stay with me. Because then I'm controlling the finances. Narcissistic man might encourage his partner to take on significant debt, to sign for them, claiming that's their future together, claiming that, hey, we're going to make this work, and later he's going to use the debt as a way to control you, reminding you of the financial burden that he helped to create that is now your responsibility. Narcissists do a great way of taking responsibility that they created and putting it back on you. So you need to understand the whole aspects of how narcissists use money with manipulation. And how until you see this, it is really hard to break free. Understanding these tactics will help you understand how you can reclaim financial independence by not doing some of these things. By starting to escape the piece from the narcissist that's always trying to put you down and put you under control. Now, if you're here listening to this and you're like, yes, Totally get this. He leveraged the money. I'm in debt, all this kind of stuff. I want to let you know, out of all the stuff that we provide, the cheapest option is the Escape Toxicity Challenge. It's a 7-day challenge for $7. Like, it's just there to help you understand and to move forward in your healing. So if you're like, I'm financially abused, I don't have the funds to be able to do like some of the higher programs, I totally get that. Start off with that because it gets you involved in at least a community. It gets you involved with other people that are going through the challenge. They can also be a support. It's a very powerful tool that we've developed to help you start to get clarity about the situation, about the reality, and to help you move forward. If you're at the place where you're like, hey, I want to move forward faster and I want to move forward quickly with the resource you provide, then go to rawmotivations.com. Set up a one-on-one. Let's talk. Let's see if you're a good fit for our Thriver community, how to continue moving you forward in all aspects of your life. Because we want to be able to help you grow and not just heal from the toxic relationship, but grow in a way that maximizes who you are and who you're called to be.